Hello everyone. Let's start with the next module. Right. Over here, what we'll be discussing is RO and TO properties. So basically, we'll be going inside the object properties in this module. Right. Now, moving ahead, if you are on the web page yahoo.com, okay, over here you have the mail link, right? And if you use the object spy, right? If you use tools object spy, and if you spy this mail link, fine. So these are the various properties which are displayed over here. These are the identification properties. Right now I am looking at the identification properties. Alright, fine. So identification properties are also known as RO properties. They are the ones which are visible to us on the spy, okay, and spy picks them from the application or from the browser or whatever it is. Okay, these are the runtime object properties, RO properties. They are on the runtime environment, they are on the application, right? If I add this object onto the object repository, if I add this in the object repository, right, you go to resources object repository and you will be able to look at the properties of the object over here. So out of all the RO properties, runtime object properties which were there, right, okay, only two have been added to the object repository because UFT thinks that these two properties are more than enough to identify the object. Okay, right. Now if the object, the mail link, if it changes in the application, right, if this link changes in the application, then obviously it will not be updated in the repository, right? So the RO properties, which is the runtime object property, can change in the application, but the TO property will not change like that. Okay, right, it gets stored in the object repository. So the properties which are stored in the object repositories, these properties are known as TO properties. Okay, so TO properties are stored in the object repository, test object properties. Okay, and RO properties are the ones which are from the application, okay, which are from the runtime environment, right? So RO properties in a way will actually be the actual values, and the TO properties would be the expected values. What do I mean by saying this is, just 1 minute, I'll tell you. Right, I'll drag this mail object over here, okay, and I'll use the object spy. I'll spy the mail link. Fine. Over here, this link has got height as 29. Okay, it's got the RO property text as mail. Fine. So if I write over here on this link browser yahoo.page.link dot, you will get a function known as get RO property. Get the RO property text. So this text will come up from the application, okay, from the browser. So this will bring from the browser and it will print it. If I run this code, see, it is printing mail out here. It is bringing it from the application. But if I write the same line and instead of get RO property, if I write get test object property, which is stored in the object repository, text, right, this will bring it from the object repository. So this becomes my, okay, this, if I run this, this will print mail 2 times, one from the application and one from the object repository. Okay, so this becomes the one which is coming from the object repository is my expected value, right, and the one which comes up from the application is the actual value. Okay, so you can, in testing, what we do, we actually compare the expected and actual values. That's what we do, right? Now tomorrow if I have to compare the height of the text, okay, so I can get the height, RO property height, right? But in TO properties, the test object properties, the description properties which are there for this mail, height is not there. So you can add height from here. You click on this plus icon and add the height. Hold on. Yeah, you can add the height property over here. Okay, and you can get the height as well in the TO property. Okay, right. So when you run this, see, it will print 29 two times, right? So the RO property function is very important. Okay, it is applicable to all the objects. Okay, it is applicable to browser, page, link, web edit, web checkbox, any object you take, it will have the function RO property. Okay, for example, if I spy, now listen to this carefully. If I spy, right, then while spying you will see that there are two tabs over here, properties and operations. Right now I am in the properties tab. Okay, you can also go inside the operations tab and you will have lot of functions which can be fired on this link. Okay, right, the same set of operations come up when you click on this, when you put a dot in front of this link. The same set of operations, they come up over here as well. Okay, the operations, the functions which are mentioned in object spy, okay, are the same which come up after you put a dot in front of the link. Similarly, if you select page, you will see various operations for a page as well. Okay, and these operations would be same as the one which come up when you click a dot in front of the page. And similarly for browser level as well, there are various operations, and those operations are also visible through object spy. Right, these operations are nothing but set of functions which you can fire on these objects. Okay, now if you look at the functions, there will be some common functions, like for example, there is a function like get RO property which we just used, or get TO property. Okay, these functions will be there, get RO property and get TO property functions will be there for every level. Okay, browser, page, link, web edit, web checkbox, any you take any element, window element, web element. Okay, right. Now for example, if I write over here print browser dot page dot, you will get the function get RO property over here as well. Okay, and you can write get the RO property title. Title is one of the RO properties in every page, and when you run this, it will print the title of the page. See that? Right? Similarly, if we look at the browser object, in the browser object you will always have a property known as application version, which will tell you the version of the browser. Okay, so if you write over here print browser Yahoo dot application version dot get RO property application version, right, and if you run this, this will print the version of your Mozilla as well. You see that? Okay, so RO property function is applicable with every object. Okay, right. Now for example on this Yahoo page, if I type something inside the text field, Okay, if I type something inside this text field and if I spy the text field, okay, if I spy the text field, fine, and you will see that one of the arrow properties in this text field is the value which holds what is written inside the text field. So if you want to read what is written inside a text field, you will have to extract this value arrow property. Okay, sometimes text fields they come up with pre-populated values. Okay, the text fields they come up with pre-populated values. Alright, and you have to read those pre-populated values. Again, in the value attribute, you will have those pre-populated values. Okay, so if I add this to the object repository and if this is my text field, if I drag it over here and if I write dot get arrow property value, right, and if I print this, so this will print what is written inside the text field. You see that it prints hello. So I'm running it from the step. I'm right clicking. If you can run from step, the shortcut is Control F5. Okay, click the cursor on this line and hit Control F5. It will run it from that particular line. Okay, similarly, if there is a checkbox, you want to check whether it is checked or not, you can again use get arrow property. Just try to do that. I'll give you that as an exercise. Try to find if a checkbox is checked or not. Fine, there will be some arrow property which denotes whether the checkbox is checked or not. Alright, now coming over to operations again. I told you that every object has set of operations. Some of these operations are common for all the objects. For example, get arrow property, get TO property, right? Some of them are different. Okay, one of the common functions is capture bitmap, which is very important and very nice. It helps you to capture the screenshot. Okay, it is present at every level, browser, page, object, everything. For example, if I write over here browser.page.webedit.capture bitmap, okay, take the screenshot of this web edit. It will only take the screenshot of the text field. I'll store the screenshot in C drive, say in C drive text field .png, make the extension png, comma true. True means that if the file is existing, it will override the file. Okay, this true parameter means that if the file is existing, it will override it. So if I run it from line number 11, hold on, and if I look at my C drive text field.png, if I open it, okay, the screenshot did not come up very well because, hold on, I'll introduce a wait for 3 seconds and then run it so that I can maximize my browser in that time. The browser has to be maximized, right, to make this, to have the screenshot, right? So I think it is over, and now you see this image, this file would be overridden because I had given true, and you see that only the screenshot of the text field has come up. Okay, if I want the screenshot of the complete, hold on, if I want the screenshot of the complete page, then you can write this line dot capture bitmap, okay, and at the page level you can take, or you can take at the browser level as well. It will bring the complete page. So I'll write over here complete.png. Fine. So if I run it from line number 11 now, and it gets over, and if you look at the C drive, you will see complete.png having the complete screenshot of the page. Okay, right? So these are very basic things but very important ones. Okay, you need to know about operations. Okay, the functions. These functions are nothing but the operations which are visible in SPY. Okay, they are available for Windows as well as web-based applications. For example, if I open calculator, okay, and if I spy the calculator, for example, the button 8, the button 8, Win button 8 will have these set of operations, right? So the operations vary from object to object, but some of the operations you'll always find that they are common. Okay.